What is Hamel going to question the students on?
Monsieur Hamel said that he would question them on participles.
What is happening at the back of the sawmill?
At the back of the sawmill, the Persian soldiers were drilling.
What news had come from the bulletin board in the last 2 years?
For the last 2 years, all our bad news had come from there.
What is different that day when school began?
Usually, when school began, there was a great bustle which could be heard out in the street. The opening and closing of desk lessons repeated in unison very loud with our hands, over our ears to understand better, and the teacher's great ruler rapping on the table. But now it was all so still.
So what was different that day?
That day, everything had to be as quiet as Sunday morning.
Right, it was very quiet. What had he counted on?
He had counted on the commotion to get to his desk without being seen.
What did he see through the window?
Through the window, he saw his classmates already in their places and Monsieur Hamel walking up and down with his terrible iron ruler under his arm.
What is the teacher wearing?
He had on his beautiful green coat, his frilled shirt, and the little black silk cap, all embroidered, that he never wore except on inspection and prize days.
Who was sitting on the back benches?
On the back benches, they were always empty, the village people sitting quietly like themselves.
How did everyone look?
Everybody looked sad.
What did Hamel say?
He said, "My children, this is the last lesson I shall give you. The order has come from Berlin to teach only German in the schools of Alsace and Rouen. The new master comes tomorrow. This is your last French lesson. I want you to be very attentive."
What made the boy forget about Hamel's ruler and how cranky he was?
The idea that he was going away, that he would never see him again, made him forget all about his ruler and how cranky he was.
Why did he put on his fine Sunday clothes?
Because this is his last lesson.
What happened to the boy on the first verse?
He got mixed up on the first words and stood there, holding on the teeth.
Why didn't he scold little Franz?
Because this is his last lesson.
What will the fellows out there say?
Now those fellows out there will have the right to say to you, "How is it you pretend to be Frenchmen and yet you can neither speak nor write your own language?"
What did Hamel say the parents had to reproach themselves with?
We've all a great dread to reproach ourselves. Franz's parents were not anxious enough to have him learn. They preferred to put him to work on a farm or at the mills to have a little more money.
How did Hamel say he should reproach himself?
He should blame also. He often sent children to water his flowers instead of having they learn their lesson.
What did Hamel say about the French language?
Monsieur Hamel went on to talk of the French language, saying that it was the most beautiful language in the world, the clearest, the most logical, that we must guard it among us and never forget it.
Why shouldn't they forget their language?
Because when people are enslaved, as long as they hold fast to their language, it is as if they had the key to their prison.
Did the children have a lesson in writing after grammar?
Yes, after grammar, they had a lesson in writing.
How long had Hamel been in the same place with his garden and classroom?
For 40 years, he had been there in the same place.
What changed about the classroom and the trees?
Only the desks and benches had been worn smooth. The walnut trees in the garden were taller, and the hop-vine that he had planted himself twined about the windows to the roof.
Okay, so what did old Hauser put on?
He had put on his spectacles.
Was old Hauser crying?
Yes, he was crying too.
What did the Persian trumpets do?
Trumpets of the Persians returning from drill sounded under their window.
Okay, was Hamel angry? He was not angry. Actually, he was.
Sad?
He was very sad, right?
Yes.
Okay, so was Hamel angry?
No, he was sad and sorry.
What did Hamel write on the board?
On the board, he wrote as large as he could, "Vive la France."